All right, moving on to other news now. The IMF board is expected to hold a crucial vote to approve $3 billion bailout for Pakistan. This comes after Saudi Arabia came to the rescue of Pakistan as well, extending a $2 billion financial assistance to the cash-strapped country. Now, the executive board of the International Monetary Fund is expected to review and endorse the $3 billion standby arrangement for Pakistan. This was finalized last week, and Pakistan expects the IMF to allow the release of the first of the tranche of the $1.1 billion as part of the loan program. But the initial disbursement depends on the approval by the board. On the 29th of June, the IMF and Pakistan reached a standby arrangement to ease the country's financial crisis. As per the deal, the IMF would disburse their $3 billion loan amount within a span of 9 months. The IMF board's approval is generally granted once a staff-level agreement has taken place. And according to reports, Pakistan earlier cleared 8 of the 11 listed program reviews. If the IMF board gives its approval, Pakistan's economy will get the much-needed boost as it continues to grapple with a severe balance of payment crisis and declining foreign exchange reserves. Under the IMF plan, finalized in June, Pakistan will receive about $1.1 billion upfront and the rest of the $3 billion fund will be dispersed in a staggered manner. The IMF deal is expected to unlock more bilateral and multilateral financing for Pakistan. Pakistan also expects its forex reserves to rise to $15 billion by the end of July. Meanwhile, Pakistan has submitted a letter of intent to the IMF. It has assured that no new tax amnesty will be introduced in the next 9 months. It has guaranteed removal of trade barriers and upholding commitments to other financial institutions and bilateral donors that have provided loans. Pakistan's Finance Minister Ishaq Dar said that Saudi Arabia has deposited $2 billion in the accounts of the State Bank of Pakistan. This is much needed boost for Pakistan's forex reserves. And credit rating agency Fitch has also upgraded Pakistan's sovereign rating to CCC. This comes after the IMF bailout plan brought some relief to investors. Its sovereign dollar bond on Tuesday also rallied as much as 1.8%. And Anas Malik is joining us live for the very latest on this. And Anas, much relief there for Pakistan. What are the conditions, however, for these bailouts?
Well, the IMF board is all set to meet tonight, Bhairavi, but we're yet to see Pakistan being put on the agenda of the IMF meeting. Now, formally, it is not on the agenda, but what is being speculated in Islamabad that through a supplementary agenda, Pakistan would be put on the agenda point, and then its standby arrangement or the standby agreement will be given a formal nod by the IMF board. Now, Pakistan will get about $3 billion over a span of about 9 months. That means the outgoing government, the incumbent government that is to relinquish its charge in a month's time, that will have to comply. Then the interim government will have to comply, and then the new incoming government, as and when the elections happen, that has to comply with the IMF demands. So, largely speaking, we would be looking at devaluation of the Pakistani rupee. We would be looking at much more raised up inflation levels, raised up electricity prices as well, and largely speaking, there's this storm that will be coming towards the middle class because of these measures. Now, the IMF has been holding meetings with different stakeholders in Pakistan, including the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. They met Imran Khan just last week in a bid to ensure consistency of policy, and they seem to be on track with that. The bigger worry for Islamabad right now is that whether or not would it be able to manage the $26 billion that it has to owe, that it has to pay back to the international community by next year, and that is the bigger worry for which these efforts are currently ongoing.
Right, right, Anas. Thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest details there on that IMF bailout.